Want to keep up with the latest Rich Gold content? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. Anyways, on with the video. Hello my Golden Knights, it's Rich Gold here, and welcome to Stormworks Build and Rescue. So today we're going to be showcasing some World War I and World War II planes. A little while ago we did tanks, and we might do boats in the future. Anyway, let's get on with the first creation. So now, really quickly before we actually do start, all the creations will be listed in the description below, and a huge thank you to the people who actually made these. Alright, so let's get started. So we'll open the doors, and we are going to start off with a World War I plane. Now this World War I plane is quite famous indeed. This is of course the Red Baron. So we're going to start this thing up. This thing is not an advanced vehicle, so it's not in the advanced mode. So I actually had to go out of the advanced mode for this vehicle. But we're going to be starting off just by kind of getting it started here. I'll put the throttle up a bit. Oh wow, okay, it just immediately starts and we're off. Okay, yeah, that was not a lot of preparation. Oh my goodness, this thing is ridiculously quick. Okay, let's try and turn down the throttle a bit here. But we are already very, very high in the air, as you can hear the wind going past us. Yeah, we are very, very high. I'm not sure. This thing is extremely fast, but I think if we kind of keep this throttle down to about 70, it's more of a realistic speed, I believe. Let's try and actually land this thing. So we'll turn the throttle down, and we'll see if we can actually come in for a landing. Oh, that's a little bit too low. Okay, let's kind of get it down to 50 here. And we'll try and land it here. It's a little bit unruly, but it's relatively easy to control. It's easier than some of the planes on this list. Okay, hold on. Yeah, no, I don't think we're going to be able to land this. It's a little bit difficult. Yeah, I don't think we can. We'll try and just get it to nosedive a bit. And kind of, yeah, that. What is going on? Okay, let's just shut this thing off. So yeah, this plane is a lot of fun, definitely, and I do recommend maybe playing around with it a bit, but yeah, it's not very advanced and it's not very realistic, but it is quite a bit of fun regardless. So we're going to move on to the next plane on this list. This one's really fun. I do recommend this one. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a plane that is literally just called World War I British Fighter. So I'm not sure if this thing actually did have a real name, but that is all the information that I have on the actual kind of workshop page here. So I'm not sure actually how to start this because I have not tested this yet, but I assume we just have to press 4 to get the fuel going, and then 5 for the engine starter, yep. And I think we should probably turn the throttle up a bit. Oh, okay, this thing's starting. Can we pull up? Yep, there we go, and we are off. Again, this thing is rather fast, so we might just turn it down a bit. But it is kind of fun, actually, this thing. Already, I do like this. It's a little bit hard to control, because it is advanced. But it is a lot of fun. I seriously doubt that I would be able to land this thing. But it is quite beautiful. I really, really like the kind of details on the side, how it's got the Air Force, the British Air Force sign, and the decals are just really, really nice. I'm not sure about the clover. I'm not sure if those were on the planes, but I'm not too sure because I don't know too much about these. Oh, the camera's glitching out a little bit. That's a bit of a shame. Oh dear. Is there like a press 1 for the stabilizer? No. Okay, it's a little bit glitchy here. Okay, there we go. We kind of fixed it by actually hopping out in midair and hopping back in the cockpit. But this thing is very, very fun. I'll see if we can go into... Yeah, it's kind of got like some gun sights here. If you go into first person, which is really cool. No working guns, which is a bit of a shame. But it does have a lot of kind of paint jobs here, and it's really, really quite nice. So we can kind of circle around here, around the air base here. So this thing is really, really nice. And I do like it. We'll try and bring it in for a bit of a landing here, which is what we'll do on all of them. So we'll try and bring it in for a bit of a landing here. Come on. Oh, it's not even turning. It won't turn. Oh, dear. Yeah, yeah, this is very, very difficult to land. And we've just crashed it right there, and now it's on fire. Oh, that's not very good. Luckily, player damage isn't turned on. Oh, we actually got hit by it as it just kind of goes off into the distance. I think the propeller actually fell off. I don't know where that is, but yeah, this thing's really cool actually. Even though it doesn't have a lot of detail on what the actual model is, it is it's a very, very nice aircraft. I'll give it that. So anyway, let's move on to the next vehicle. Now, this next vehicle, I am convinced it isn't the most realistic on this list, because its name is literally just World War I Bomber. Now, it looks actually rather good, except I don't know if those red engines, they look a bit modern. I don't think that they really kind of fit it, but I could be wrong, I'm not sure. Looks like it looks like it is British. That's all I can really say. It looks like it is a British bomber, but I hope I'm not wrong there. So it's got a cool kind of gunner position up the front here, where it's made with looks like a distance sensor and some radio things and like a nozzle. It looks very, very cool. I really like how they've done the guns. But it doesn't really have any bombs. It's got a parachute here, which actually fits the color, which is very cool. It's got quite a lot of buttons here, so we'll try and get this thing on. Okay, looks like those will go on. I'm not sure if we're supposed to fiddle with those flaps or anything. We'll put the engine throttle up. Parking brake off. Okay, we've actually managed to get this thing going. I didn't think we would. But, alright, let's try and take off. We might need more throttle here. Yep, there it goes. Okay, we might need to actually turn the throttle down. Words are hard there. But let's try and kind of fly this thing. So it's very, very large and very difficult to fly. I can't even turn it. I can hardly turn it. Looks like it does kind of have little bomb bays. I think they're trying to use sensors or something. Oh dear. The camera flipped out. So they've used some sort of sensor or magnet thing to kind of simulate bombs, it looks like. But this thing is actually quite nice. I'm not sure about the red engines. I could be wrong. Maybe I've only seen black and white photos and I'm not sure what they actually were. But it is a very, very nice plane here. Very, very nice aircraft. It's quite realistic. It's a little bit wide, but I think that's probably semi-realistic here. It looks like it's some sort of early bomber. That would be my best guess. I'm not even going to try to land this thing. It's just not going to happen. We might as well just crash it into the water here. We'll see what this does. Is that some sort of... Oh, these might be like spotlights or something. I'm not sure if that's meant to be something else or whether they're literally trying to make it look like spotlights. I don't know, but there we go. We've crashed it into the ocean. It's actually sustained a bit of damage here. Oh, is it going to float? Oh, it is. Kind of. I think it might just sink again. But it kind of did float there, which is quite good. Let's not get killed by these propellers here. But yeah, this overall, this plane is rather good. Good fun, especially if you've got, you know, a friend or two to kind of hop in the things. It's good for roleplay and things like that. Most of these these aircraft and vehicles that I show are very, very good for roleplay with your friends. So anyway, we're going to move on to the next vehicle. Yeah. Okay, now we are going to be starting off with our World War II planes now. Till the end of the video, it'll be World War II planes with the famous Messerschmitt BF-109. Now this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Well done, the person who actually made this. Links in the description. Absolutely looks amazing. Oh dear, it's kind of going back a bit. We might need to push it a bit. Oh dear, it's kind of, the brakes aren't the best. I don't think the brakes kind of stay on at the start. But yeah, I really like how they managed to do the curvature of the wings and just the angles, and it's not like overly wide. It's just, you know, looks realistic. Like the proportions are fantastic. Oh, I'm just so pleased with this thing. Okay, let's hop in it. I really like how the cockpit looks. It looks fantastic. I do really like this thing. So we're going to start off with the ignition. I believe we need to put the engine up a little bit. Okay, let's... Oh, and we've got to actually start it. The gyro? I guess we'll turn that on. I don't know. I don't really know what it does. Okay, I'll put the throttle up. Oh dear. I think we need to gear change, don't we? Yes. Oh, we managed to take off. Finally. Okay, there we go. Okay, this thing is, ooh, a little bit difficult to fly. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this thing looks fantastic. Let's put up the, can we put up the gear? Landing gear? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so this thing is very difficult to control, but it does look absolutely fantastic. So this thing kind of would be good for some roleplay. Okay, we can actually turn it with the arrow keys here. That makes things a lot easier. So yeah, this thing would definitely be good for roleplay if you were, you know, roleplaying some sort of town on the mainland or something like that. I don't know. In World War II, this thing looks absolutely fantastic. Doesn't have any working guns, which is a bit of a shame. I don't think many of these planes actually do have working guns, if any. But I really do like this thing. It is very, very good, and actually, it's actually rather easy to control. I'm very, very surprised how easy it actually is to control. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult if you want to land it. We will try and land it, but I do really like this thing. We're gonna cut the throttle a bit now, so we can land on these rocky mountains. It's just gonna crash. Oh, we didn't actually catch on fire there, but we did lose the propeller. But anyway, okay, let's just cut the throttle completely, and there we are. So, let's hop out of the cockpit before this thing rolls away. So, yeah, it is very, very good, this one. A little bit of a learning curve to kind of get this thing started. Obviously, you got to kind of learn the gear changes. I did kind of experiment with this one before we started, just because I knew this was going to be a little bit difficult to fly. But once you kind of get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So, anyway, we're going to move on to the next vehicle now. So I'll see you guys in just a minute. Alright, now we're going to be moving on to actually another German aircraft, because I thought I'd get these out of the way with the German aircraft. Now, this one, I'm not sure about realism here, because the only name for this thing is World War II German double engine. It's a little bit strange. It doesn't have a lot, it's got some decals, but not a lot. So we'll open up the cockpit here. It might be made by the same person, because they've kind of done the cockpit the same kind of way here. Yeah, there we go. It's shut, finally. But I'm not sure about this one. It's got a double engine. It could be some sort of dive bomber, maybe? I'm not too sure, but I'm just not very... I don't know a lot about these ones. So it's got a lot of different buttons that we now have to work out what they actually do. So let's see. Do we need the ignition on first or engine? I think we need that clutch on there. Ignition, gyro, I think we need that on. Okay, starter. Okay, this is all started up. Position light. I don't know what that is. Is that like a headlight? I don't even know. No, I don't think so. Okay, let's see if we can turn up the engine RPS here. And now... Oh, yep. This thing's fast. This thing is fast, but I don't think... Okay. Oh, okay. We managed to get into a different gear, and it's actually taken off. This thing, I'm not too sure about this one. It's a little bit tough to control. But, oh dear, we're actually going to crash here in a second. Oh dear. Okay, we fixed the camera problem. We seem to be getting that on every single thing. Okay, let's put the landing gear up by pressing number 5. So... this thing's a little bit strange. I don't know. It's a little bit difficult to control. It's not too bad, but it's probably just got a steep learning curve. A bit like the 109. So I'm not too sure about this one, because I didn't even know these things existed, the double engine. I did not know that these existed. Maybe they don't. Maybe this is just a creation, but I assume they do. I assume they do. So this thing is very, very interesting. I'm not too sure. It's just interesting as a plane, not even as a creation. It's very, very... Yeah, I'm not sure. There's definitely a lot you can learn from some of these Stormworks vehicles. We'll give it a go landing it. I'm not too sure. Oh no, we're going to crash. Yep. And it's on fire. Okay, did not pull up in time. Can we get out of the cockpit? Oh no, this is like a some sort of like movie or something trying to get out. Oh no, we crashed into it. Okay, it's crashed into a tree, so that'll go create a forest fire, and we'll have to call the fire department. But anyway, not too much to say about this one, because I don't know that much about it, but I suppose it is quite a good plane. So yeah, the link will be in the description if you do want to check this thing out. But anyway, let's move on to the next creation that we have on our list. Now, we actually have our first American vehicle. So this one is titled SNJ4 Inspired World War II plane. So or fighter, something along those lines. So we're actually going to be kind of giving this thing a go. It's got two cockpits here, or two kind of canopy things here. I assume that this one is the actual pilot. Oh, we've got to get this thing started really, really quickly, so we won't be able to check this thing out too much. Oh, that's the landing gear. Okay, we'll turn the brakes off. We've got like a bunch of cockpit lights and things. I don't know how to get this thing started. Can we just get this thing started, please? I'm not too sure. Okay, we'll put the throttle up, maybe? Oh, dear. Okay, come on. Let's get this thing started. Come on. Oh, dear. I don't think this is going to pull up. Oh, it did. It actually did. Okay. So, this is some sort of American aircraft. Its proportions are okay, but it's not very realistic, this one. It looks alright, but it's not the best. So let's kind of put the landing gear up. So yeah, this thing is interesting for our first kind of American aircraft on this list. But yeah, it is very, very cool. I do kind of like it. Yeah, anyway, we'll try and land this thing. There's not too much to say about this one, but we'll try and give it a go landing it. It kind of drifts sideways. I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe I'm just piloting it wrong. I'm not sure. But we'll try and give it a bit of a land here. We'll see if this works. Oh! We've kind of had our first successful landing with this aircraft, though, so it's not too bad. Wow, okay. So, because it's kind of a bit slow and a bit... oh, I think we did lose the propeller. Oh, dear. Okay, maybe not as successful as I thought it would be. But I do really like how the canopies work. Let's kind of check out the navigator thing when we've got this landed. So, there's not too much here. I think it's just kind of more of a navigator, so he's got the altitude and all that stuff. So yeah, decent plane for two people, but it's not very realistic. So I do recommend this one for a little bit of roleplay, as long as you're not too fussed about realism. But I do think it is quite good, and I think you could have a lot of good, imaginative stories with this thing. And it's just a fun plane, to be quite honest. Very much worth checking out. So, yeah, let's move on to our next plane. Oh, this next aircraft that we have is a little bit different as well. It's actually a Russian aircraft. Now, we actually have had a Russian vehicle before on these kind of things, if you guys remember the Tsar tank. But we are going to be kind of giving this thing a go. Are those rockets? I'm not sure, but I haven't used this thing before. It's got a bit of a step ladder, so you can actually get up. So we'll try and hop up on it. Oh dear, it's a little bit difficult. There we go, man. We managed to do it. Okay. Oh, let's open up the canopy. Oh dear, lots of buttons. Oh no. Oh, that is a lot of buttons. Okay, fuel pump. Oh my goodness. Wait, what? Wait, what? I just put on one. I pressed one button. What? I pressed one button. I haven't even managed to check out the other. Oh dear. Oh my goodness. Okay, and it's kind of... Oh no! Can we fire some... Oh dear, I've accidentally pressed the creative options. Oh no. Can we at least fire the rockets? If they are fireable, so... Ooh, we've actually got some cool buttons in here. Okay, we've stabilized a bit, so we can actually calm it down a bit. But yeah, this thing's very, very difficult to actually... You can open the bonnet there. Very, very difficult to actually control... Oh dear, so it looks like it's got like kind of cannons on the side there, so those are what they are. They're not machine guns, it looks like cannons, definitely. And I think rockets, but I don't think the rockets do fire, because there's not really a button to press at all. So this thing's actually got working microphones, which is very, very cool. Oh dear, this thing is extremely difficult to control, and it's very, very bad. Oh, and it's spinning out of control. Okay, it's spinning out of control. Let's turn the thrust down. Okay, hold on. Let's try and land this thing somewhere. Oh yeah, this thing is just absolutely just not good at all. It's nosediving now since we turned the throttle off. But the engine keeps going. I'm not too sure what that's about. Oh wow. Okay, this is gonna be a terrible crash right here. This is gonna be a terrible crash. Oh, and it's actually spinning. Oh, it wasn't that bad of a crash. There was no. Oh, we took out a tree. We took out a tree. Oh dear. Oh dear. We're actually stuck in here. Oh, we're stuck. Oh no. Well, I guess this is my life now, guys. So, yeah, we're going to, yeah, wow, okay, I don't think you'd ever be able to find... Oh, and there goes the flames. Okay, so it looks like we're just going to burn to death in this vehicle. So that's a bit of a shame. But, yeah, we're going to move on to our final World War II aircraft. Okay, so for our final aircraft, we have probably the most famous World War II plane ever. We have, of course, the World War II British Spitfire. Now, I have looked around, and this was the best one that I could find. It is a little bit unrealistic. It's not exactly... oh, this door's quite cool. Yeah, it's not exactly the best, but I do quite like it. Can we even get this door open? Door close? No, it's not gonna work. Okay, hold on. Let me try and pull this, close this door. No. Uh-oh. Did you guys see that mission? Reported forest fires. I wonder who caused that. Okay, well we can't really get that thing closed, but we're gonna try and start this thing up. It's not in... Oh, the throttle already. It just starts. So, now... I don't even know what to think about this one. The doors won't close, but it's probably it's the only Spitfire we really have on the. Oh dear, it's spinning out of control. So it's the only Spitfire we really have, and we're gonna crash, and we're gonna cartwheel. So, okay, well, obviously this isn't really gonna work, but I'll just say this one thing. It's not... It's the only Spitfire we kind of have, and it's okay, but yeah, I wouldn't pick this one up, to be quite honest. It's a bit... it's very unrealistic, and it doesn't fly very well. But well done to the creator for trying. It is quite decent of an aircraft, but it just... yeah, it doesn't really work. Look at our little propeller here. Yeah, it looks good, but it's not realistic, unfortunately. So that's actually going to do us for today, guys. So thank you all very, very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next Stormworks episode, or WWII episode, or whatever it is going to be. Thank you all very much once again, and yeah, goodbye.